Warning. This show may contain offensive content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Riding through the night, engines were ablaze, cameras rolling hard in a wild twisted maze. Levers feeling fire, the open roads are thrown, back in life televised, we're breaking every bone. Adrenaline surges, brace for the fall. Hitting it with HardWire, hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our family dream. Riding hard, never slowing in the spotlight we shine. A biker's faithful journey, this life is ours divine. Hitting it with HardWire, the crowd screams the name, chasing down the shadow for addicted to the fame. Chains rattling loud, the brotherhood's alive, every episode gets better, we're here to survive. Some dust till dawn, we're the kings of this road. Hitting it with HardWire, hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our family dream. Riding hard, never slowing in the spotlight we shine. A biker's faithful journey, this life is ours divine. On the edge of chaos, we embrace the fear. Hitting it with HardWire, we'll always be here.
Hey, welcome to Hittin' It with HardWire. How's everybody doing? I see Gen X, Tomcat, Frank, Gary, good to see you. Jason. Thought I'd start out today. So loud. Good to see you. Showing everybody my haul for the week. Everything that showed up in the mail. I have a problem. I guess, at least I told my wife whenever I start buying coins and stuff, it stays money. It's always money. And it only gains in value. Unlike a lot of things you might blow money on, booze or whatever. You drink it up, it's gone. A lot of things lose value. But this stuff doesn't. So it's an investment, I guess. This is a nice $5 silver certificate. Anybody, I got two of those. If you've seen them, I'm not. I'm about to read up a little bit about the history of those. But somebody was asking me the other day. I think when currency was backed by a gold or something, for a while they had it backed by silver. I think that's what the silver certificates are. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Another 5. Got 2 5s. The higher the currency, the harder they are to find, harder they are to get. Let's see. I also got this feller. It's a $10. Those are hard to find. I got a nice set of these. These are the American Innovation dollars. They're hard to see on here. Most people don't even know they made these. Super shiny. If you're outside, they'll blind you. Anybody know what this is? 18 What did that say? 78. There's a Morgan. Those are hot right now. They're selling like hot cakes for about $80 a piece on eBay. This is what I was telling you about last week. Camera, come on. That's a nickel from 1876. Focus. Focus on the damn thing, would you? It's a nickel from 1876. It's fucking camera won't want to focus on it. You know what this is? This is even got the certificate of authentication. This is the Trump fight collection of gold-plated, whatever the fuck they are, gold-plated commemorative, whatever the fucks. Got me, what the hell is this one in the box? Oh, this is in the original government packaging. I guess it's worth more that way. The original government packaging. And it's, get in there. Bicentennials. I collect from 1976. This is just the holder that you would put them in, but I guess to keep it in the original packaging, it's worth more. Keep it set up in the original government packaging, I guess. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is actually was a gift for somebody that took off and left it behind, so I got it. It's a nice velvet box with all the silver proofs from 94. That was my daughter's ex-boyfriend left him behind, so she says, "Here you go." Which I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll take him. Piss on it." I said, "I'll take it." He also left this behind, which I bought, which I was excited to see this. What this is? That is a Silver Eagle. Graded 70. That's about $150 right now. He left that behind. That was a Christmas present back in like 2021. I try to buy them graded if I can. This is graded Kennedy. Sometimes the graded ones are really expensive. I got a giant stack. I won't go through all of them, but most of these ones are all Buffalo nickels, Indian head cents. I don't think there was anything special in there. Bought a giant stack. They had they call it juicing the lot. The higher you bid, the more stuff they throw in. And I got a whole bunch of Indian head cents and Buffalo nickels. A lot of these are in really good condition. I imagine you don't give a shit to see that. I showed you them last week. See what this is. Oh, I don't know if the camera will pick this up. Come on, will you focus on it? You can see what's written there. These are old German coins. The camera won't show it. With a nice eagle and the swastika on it. I just think they're cool. No, I don't support that, but they're neat. It's a part of history. Might pick this one up. This is oddly a different color. There's ones, fives. And I think a 10. That's a 10. And I got some bills coming. This I thought this was really cool. Apparently not very rare. I don't know if you could see it because of the shine on there. That is from Ireland. See if you can see the date. Can you see that? 1790 something from Ireland. I thought that was cool shit. My daughter gave me that. I seen that in her set and I said, that's really awesome. Like anything that my fascination is that anything lasts that long, you know, from 1790 something or other, and it actually survived that long. That's fast. That's awesome. And I showed you that one, that 1876 that I spent $60 fucking on it. And then I was going through my daughter's she works at a pawn shop and they don't take coins. Some crackhead come in wanting to sell their coins. And she says, I'll give you $50 for them, just on the side, but we don't take them. She goes, oh, okay. She bought them. And look at there. That's the same coin I just spent $60 on. She gave me the nickel. She gave me one. And I was like, dude, I just bought one. This is about, I think, 1864. It's a couple of years older. Or 1867. I bought a 76. And she gave me one. I said, that's awesome, man. That made my day. She gave me them German coins, which, believe it or not, going on eBay for $50 or so, depending upon who's on there. But I tell people all the time, the swastika at one time was a Christian symbol, and it goes way back to way back before Germany ever got a hold of it. Nice quarter set. I don't know what the hell's on the back of it. States or something. I think these are the America the Beautiful ones. If I find it real cheap, I buy it. I don't know. Oh, it says 2010 America the Beautiful. Proof set. Proof set means that they strike them with a little extra pressure and for a little bit longer. And they come out real nice and shiny like that. Here's a proof set from 95, the year I graduated. I thought that's why I bought that. I thought, hey, 1995, the year I graduated. Cool beans. That one, oh, it's got a green background. That's why it looks weird. Look like they're floating. What's up, Rolling 3? Good to see you. Showing everybody my haul for the week. And there's about 10 packages showing up tomorrow. I bought some goldbacks. They're called goldbacks. And it turns out about, I don't know, like 10 states actually started using them as currency, or you can spend them like currency. And I bought one that they quit, I think it was from Florida that they quit making, or Arizona or something, that they quit making because it was supposedly too risque. I thought that was funny. This was a Philly mint set that was never even opened. Of course, I had to open it. They seal them in these containers at the mint. And they contain all the ones from that year, uncirculated, right off the mint. See what else we got. I got some of these. These are what they call red, what the fuck, I've drawn a blank. Red stamps. $5 red stamp. Another $5 red stamp. I think this one, no, which one is it? One of them $5 red stamps I paid $2 for. So I paid $2 for $5 bill. The sticker is just on the outside. That's what they put on there to make sure that it gets to the right person. There's a $2 red stamp. And a couple of dollar silver certificates. $2 red stamp, another $2 red stamp, another $2 red stamp, another dollar silver certificate. The way I look at it is telling my wife, at least when you buy stuff like this, you know, it holds value. It's always worth something. These fucking things will never really, these are collector's items. They ain't really worth that much. Inside this is the Ghostbusters gold. These aren't gold backs. These are gold foil notes. which are way different. These are just collector's items. And it's got all the Ghostbusters in the pack. Then Shrek. Then Silver, Voltron, Tom and Jerry, Minions, a bunch of wildlife ones. They all got different ones in there. There's a wolf and stuff, and then Godzilla. I think I showed you Godzilla before. Silver. They contain. It says they're made out of .99 silver, but it's gold foil. So if you took it off there, it might. If you melted 100 of them, you might get a wee bit of gold. And I just dropped them everywhere, trying to set them down. You might get a little bit of gold or a little bit of silver. They're more collector's items than anything. They're not really worth that much. If you look on eBay, some of them sell for $10 a piece, and there's a bunch of them in a set. Sell for about $10 a piece. I guess when it comes to stuff like that, I made the mistake of asking how much it's worth, and I kind of knew what they was going to say. The smart ass answer, whatever, somebody will pay for it. That's what it's worth. Oh, there's another five. This is the beat up one. This is the one I paid $2 for a $5 note. It's a $5 red stamp. And which one's this? This is another red stamp. Bought too many of them damn red stamps. I got a ton of them. Then they juiced a lot and threw in a bunch of little copper thingies. I think they call them love tokens or something. Let's see what else is in here. There's a Walker peace dollar. Silver. This is a half ounce of solid silver coin. I think it's Canadian. It's got an American flag on the back. It looks like. I don't know why would it have what looks like an American flag and an American eagle? What looks like Queen Elizabeth. I don't know. But it's a half ounce of silver. Silver is going for about $75 an ounce. So even if you melted it, that's $40, $35, $40. Another bicentennial, one of them ones I showed you before that was still in the government packaging. The same, these are silver sets that they sell. They used to sell made out of silver. I don't mean to bore y'all, but I just wanted to show you my take for the week. I told you I had a problem. Your man got a problem buying this shit. Turns out I'm not the only one. It becomes an addiction getting on them damn auctions. I think that's it for now. I got a bunch of more shit showing up. And if you enjoyed just looking at them, I will show you the rest next week when they show up. I'll show you the gold backs when I get them. They contain a specific amount of gold, and some states actually accept it as currency, the gold backs. And I got a cool thing upstairs to put them in, a little fireproof binder that I can put everything in. And a special little box for them. They call them slabbed ones. Those are the ones that are graded. I can't watch the auctions because I can't help myself with to buy shit if I think it's going cheap. But you got to be really careful. If you're not careful, sometimes if someone uses max bid on the bidding process, it'll jump real fast. And if you're not paying attention, you press bid and it jumps on you. You're getting it. You're bidding. I got a slabbed version of the Morgan dollar coming that I fucking paid I think $75 for, which is what they're worth. A piece of silver. They call them silver cards. It's about the size of a credit card. It's 1 ounce of silver. And I paid 75 for that. And it's the melt on silver right now is 75. So I paid what it's worth. Usually you get I think it's called a buyer's premium on them, where if you're buying it from someplace, you actually paying a little bit more than what it's worth, for the problem of packaging it and all that. But not very long ago, I think it was at the beginning of this year, silver was up to $130. So it varies. It's a little bit of a slump at the moment. Stuff like that, it's better than blowing it, just plain blowing it. That's always got value. So good old scrap iron. How you doing, my man? I can't watch now when the eBay it notifies me all the time when the eBay auctions are coming on, and I got to swipe it off the screen. I can't watch it, or I want to buy stuff. It's basically converting money because it's money, and it'll always be money, and it will always have value. You're just I converted it into a form that you'll put in a safe and keep for a long time. It encourages saving. I have trouble saving money. I can't save money to save my life. If I have money, I feel like I got to blow it on something. And I've always been that way. That's a habit you start in your youth that I've never gotten out of. My savings account usually has about $1 in it. All right, I showed you my shit. Now what's up? What's up? Now what's up? I've been out there working on the trailer the last couple of days. I got a ton of sun. I'll have the only trailer that I know of that somebody turned their fucking toolbox into Bluetooth. I'm going to turn it into a fucking Bluetooth speaker. I'm going to put speakers in it. And some of the shit I have, because I've went through so many iterations of motorcycle stuff that I have a bunch of stuff in my garage just laying around. I had a brand new little, it's wee little, and it's like a head unit for Bluetooth, and it's got a volume button and everything on it that I was going to put on one of my other bikes, and I decided not to, and it sat in the closet. I got a habit of doing that too. But hey, I can put it to use. I'm going to put it in the toolbox on my trailer, mount a couple of speakers in there, and I have about 4 amps out in the garage that I don't use. And I have a little ATV MTX amplifier. It's only about this big, and it'll be perfect for that. And I'm putting my extra motorcycle battery, that lithium, in there, along with the little breakaway box. And fancy. I'm only going to have room for my fancy straps. I got 8 of them 2-inch. What I say, they're like Rhino or some name like that, like self-retractable straps. And then the pieces that lock into the L-track, all in. They come in a nice bag. And then they call them soft loops. Several of those that are in the bags. And that's about with all the other shit. But I also put a GPS tracker in there for anybody that thinks they're going to be smart and steal my fancy trailer. It's got a GPS. It's going to have a GPS tracker inside the toolbox. Right on, Tomcat. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, Steve Easy? How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, I was out there jamming. I was thinking about going to a concert next weekend. Saving Abel's going to be there, and THC, Texas Hippie Coalition. I seen them live in Akron at a small bar in Akron. and they was really good. It was good live, really good live. I was impressed. Some people just aren't good live, and they was good live. It was really good. Right, right. A lot of people put four per bike. I usually put six just to be safe. I know you might say that's a little too much, and I also got some kind of generic knockoff of Condor chocks. What'll be a cool birthday present? My ladies, oh, the concert. We don't have the money right now because I blew it. I'm sorry. I should have pulled the trigger on that before I blew the money. Plus, you wouldn't have been able to get off work, dear. Calm down. Calm your tits. You wouldn't have been able to get off work. Would have been a one night affair, basically just Saturday night, and it would have been a clusterfuck. There will be more concerts. There will be more time. As long as I don't croak. Because croaking ain't joking. I don't plan on croaking, but does anybody? Typically, you don't plan on it. But we've made some good memories and seen some good shows so far. So you always have that if I die. There, there will be some cool events and things to go to this year. Locally, it's going to have to be locally, unless the Iran war ends, or whatever you want to call it. I know there's talk right now of them, working things out or whatever, but Iran just don't take it seriously. The only way that we're going to come out on top of that, and we have to come out on top of that after everything that we've been through and everything we've done as a country. Everything's turned out kind of abysmally. Not really a loss per se, but turned out like crap and made us look bad. We have to come out on top of this. Have to. Not only for our reputation, but for the what's up, America Uncensored. Oh, I didn't do that yet today. Frank, this one's for you.
Shit.
Shit. Plus, I think they only have tent camping at that event, dear, and I don't not one for sleeping in a tent.
Shit.
We bought a camper and now I'm spoiled. I have not watched this yet, but we're going to watch it together. I like to show you guys something different every week and some shows that you don't watch every day. I'm sure this is the channel that most of you don't watch. I'm quite sure of that. This is the Kirk Cameron show. Well, I said before we even went to war, you can go back through my shows if you don't remember. How can you negotiate with someone that doesn't think you have a right to live by their religion? How do you negotiate with that? How do you come to terms with that? How do you live and let live somebody like that? That's what they think. Death to America. They think we're infidels and they have the right. We don't have a right to live. how do you reconcile the two things? You just it will eventually, if you even if you like let them be your neighbor or whatever, say they was right next to you, they're going to come for you eventually. They're going to try to blow you up. That's why they can't have a nuclear weapon, because they will eventually try to send it to us, and they won't care. They don't think it's not against their religion to take out a whole country. They think it'll do them religious favors. Man. Okay, it's the light. I thought I was getting some more silvers. I got enough. I don't need more. I mean, it'll happen eventually. I don't I don't think they know who's in charge over there right now. Like the IRGC wants to have control, and they're kind of saying one thing, and their leadership is saying something else. And then they have their religious, like they have a president, and they also have a religious leader, and they're at odds. Everybody's at odds with each other over there, and the people want something entirely different. A lot of the people in Iran aren't religious zealots, and they don't want that. They don't want death to America. Some of them over there like America. They want to have our freedoms and things. Ticket prices are fucking insane. I mean, insane. But that's how the excuse I heard was because they don't really generate revenue, very much revenue from like online sales or, well, merch sales they can, but like any actual like sales of their music anymore, because of things like Spotify and torrenting and stealing the music and different things. They don't make much music money that way anymore. So that the biggest way they make money now is mostly just through touring. And they've all decided to team up, and most of the shows do big festivals. But that used to be an excuse. But lately I've been seeing like 2 and 3 bands play instead of a big, and they're still fucking charging outrageous prices. I mean, outrageous. Damn. I had a friend go to a Tom Petty it was an infamous story that he told all the time. The Tom Petty time he went to a Tom Petty concert, and he used to tell stories about, dude, he says, I was hitting, there was so much weed passing around. He said there was cops standing around and they would just look at you, they didn't care. He said before I could hit a joint, like somebody was tapping me on the shoulder, passing me another joint. And he said I would have 2 in this hand, and people tapping me on the shoulder trying to get me to. He said there was so much fucking weed going around there, and he said he was so fucking high. It was an infamous story he told. I was going to see ZZ Top. They just played not too long ago, not too far from here. But they don't have the one dude passed away, and they got a replacement for him. And I wasn't sure. Like, I started thinking about all the ZZ Top songs I knew, and it's not a hell of a lot. They are more of a band I would go see. I would love to see with somebody else that I'd love to see, and I forget who they was playing with, but it wasn't somebody that I really cared for. They do. They love some of them. They're hard right, like religious zealots over there, kind of like the left here in America. They're not all of them, and they kind of it's like the letting the inmates run the asylum, you know. We do it in America, we did it in America for a long time. Carlos Santana's still touring. I didn't even know he's got to be like 100 years old. Nerd rock, huh? You like nerd rock? That's what I always called Rush. It's like D&D version of rock and roll. That's all right. There's a few of their songs I really like too. I just like messing with people, man. I'm just fucking with you. There's the Rush has got some diehards, man. They got some diehards like the Grateful Dead did, and like what's Parrot Heads? That's Jimmy Buffett's Parrot Heads. Yeah, Rush has got some fucking hardcore fans too. Russia's got some fucking hardcore fans, man. I know some people really like them. My one friend used to be hardcore Kiss fan, and he was a year or two older than me. I said, dude, I must have missed that. Kiss has a few songs that are okay, but I'm just not a Kiss fan. And he said that, like, he went to their concert every time they had a tour. He went, and he said, yeah, Gene Simmons is really getting to the point where he could barely sing anymore. He said his backup singers were doing most of the singing for him. That's one of my problems. You can get reasonable tickets, but I don't want shit tickets. I won't buy the lawn seats anymore. I'm too spoiled. Now that I've seen some concerts from closer up, I won't go if I don't have a seat. And even when I went to see Black Label Society at the House of Blues in Cleveland, I got balcony seats because it was literally the only place where you could have a reserved seats. The rest of it was just the floor. And I usually won't go to places that just have standing room only. Part of being old, I guess. I am fortunate enough, like when I went to Ozfest, all the second stage bands were all standing room only, and the fuckers would try to mosh around me, and then they'd head towards me, and I'm big enough that I'd look at them and just go like this, go ahead and fucking try, buddy. And they would turn around and go the other way. Because I wasn't really a mosher. I seen some people come out fucked up out of them mosh pits sometimes in concerts. Man, I seen dude fucking whole face bloodied up, gushing blood everywhere. Yeah, I seen some people get fucked up. Black Label Society is a very fucking interesting iteration of music. He does a lot of very slow, almost country and blues sounding songs. And then he does some real heavy shit. Zach's all over the place, but a very talented musician. He is a show off. Even in his music, he's a show off. Even in his recorded music, he's a show off. Live, he's a show off, but he's very good. It's mesmerizing. Watching that man play guitar is just fucking mesmerizing. He played like a 20-minute guitar solo, and while the rest of the band took a break, and he didn't even take a fucking break, and he sat there and just wailed on that guitar. And holy shit, it was a 20-minute guitar solo. Sounds boring, but it was fucking mesmerizing. Just watching him play that fucking guitar, it was amazing. Fucking guy's amazing. Aerosmith's one. Them bands that I don't know. I listened to their music, but I never really got into them. Like when they had the big ones or whatever, it was like a greatest hits, but they call it the big ones around that time. I listened to a lot of Aerosmith at that time, but they were one of them ones I just never really felt the urge to go see them. They're like the Rolling Stones. They got tons of fucking really good shit out there. They've been around forever, but I would never I don't have any interest in going seeing them live. They sell floor tickets places. I never heard of a mosh pit ticket yet. I haven't. $10 to $12. You're getting off cheap. A lot of the concerts now, the fucking beers are almost $20. It's crazy. You got to be a rich man. Go there. Like the one concert, it's been quite a few years ago now. The one concert I thought I had it figured out, and I sort of did. They would allow people to bring water bottles in. It had to be water bottles, and they just check your cooler quick, open it up, see water bottles or whatever, and go on in. And people would fucking chuck these. Open them up, just open them up, and then chuck them. People are stupid, but pour clear liquor in there, vodka or whatever your clear liquor of choice is. Perfectly, got to be perfectly clear. Pour it in the water bottles. But when you only have liquor, you get fucked up quick. You gotta sip it. I kind of missed a few concerts because of being too fucked up. I'll tell you someone you wouldn't think of. My friend that used to like Kiss. Well, my former best friend told me that George Thorogood, he had a few good songs, but he said he is really good live. If you like somebody that's real performative, like just really jams and plays good music and that's fun like that. He said Thorogood's awesome live, and I have not got a chance to see him. Now he's probably fucking getting too old to really do real good. But I seen Willie Nelson once. Not real showy, but he has a presence about him. He's been around for so many years, and he is literally a living legend. When I seen him, it was quite a few years ago. I think it was around 2000. Around 2000 somewhere, 2001. But it was cool to see a legend like that. But it was cool seeing Willie. I missed my chance to see Waylon and Merle. I had a chance to see Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings while they were touring locally, and it wasn't too long before they died. And I went, you know what? I'll see them the next time around or something. I just don't quite have the money. And sure enough, I didn't get the chance because wasn't around much longer. Believe it or not, another one I could say that about is fucking Static X. I had a chance to see Static X right before Wayne Static died, and I wished I would have went. I didn't go. He was playing somewhat locally here, and I said I'll have to catch him next time around. That's why I try not to do that anymore. I try not to. Most of the ones I'm getting to the point where I'm repeating some of the shows because I've seen so many concerts now. Megadeth was a pretty good show, but they weren't real showy. Dave Mustaine jams a lot. I laughed. I couldn't help but laugh because he has ginormous hair, and he looks like a helmet head, kind of, and the way he fucking plays his guitar, it reminded me of a bobblehead. It was fucking funny. I couldn't help it. I was jamming and laughing. I was like, yeah, he fucking looked like a bobblehead. I seen him on Gigantor whenever they played with Lamb of God, and Lamb of God had just come out with, I think it's called Sacrament, like it was like their big #1 hit album or whatever. It was a good show. I seen Arch Enemy. I was like, "Who's that chick? Oh, dude, she's hot." It's like I didn't know there was a hot chick that plays in heavy metal. That's been a long time ago now. I seen Metallica live. I was not impressed. And I really did like Metallica. I was disappointed. I left disappointed. They Godsmack was playing with them, and I was actually more impressed with Godsmack than I was with Metallica. Godsmack played very good live. Sully and them sounded almost exactly like a fucking album, man. He sang all the songs just right. The band played on in tune. Everything sounded really good. Godsmack sounded great. Fucking Z, that's one I missed. ZZ Top played with Leonard Skinner a couple years ago, and I really wanted to go see that. I don't think I'd pay to see either one of them by themselves, but together that would be fucking awesome. They played together a couple years ago, and I didn't get a chance to go. And I wish I would have. I've been trying to find, since I bought this camper, I've been trying to find weekend places we can go camp and have a good time, like a festival. And there's quite a few good ones around here, country ones and rock ones. But they're so fucking expensive, I can't afford it. There's one called Ink at the Clink. It's the old Mansfield Reformatory, where they filmed, now I'm going to have a brain fart. Morgan Freeman, that prison movie. Shit. Brain fart. Well, they filmed that movie there. And I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember the name of it. A good movie. I just can't remember the name of it. But they have Ink at the Clink once a year, every year. And if you want to camp there, Thursday through, the Shawshank Redemption. Thanks, Jason. If you want to camp Thursday through Sunday, you're looking at, for two people, you're looking at, just for two people, like $3,000. That's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. They'd have to have hookers and free blowjobs everywhere. Something. They'd have to juice it up somehow for me to spend $3,000. $3,000 is a fuckload of money, man. For something like that. For a fucking weekend fucking party. And you still got to buy all your own drinks and everything else. Fuck that, dude. That's getting crazy. Like I say, if you listen to some of the music I've been enjoying mixing a bit of blues and metal. It's not that it hasn't been done before, but usually they lean into the metal side of it. I've been leaning into a lot more of the blues and trying to mix in some acoustic blues, which is not typical. I've been enjoying, I haven't done it for a while. I'm still paying. That pisses me off about fucking Suno. You pay for a subscription for it, and you get so many credits, but if you don't use them, they reset every month regardless. They don't stack up, and you're paying for the fucking credits. You should get to keep them. But you don't. You don't get to keep them. It just resets every month. If you don't use them all, you lose them, which is fucking stupid. If you're going to pay for them, you should get to keep them. Shit, we're going on 50 minutes, and I haven't shut up the whole time. We haven't even started this damn video. That's one I wouldn't. I've seen some of the fucking concert footage. I would never. You couldn't pay. You couldn't give me free tickets to Motley Crue. I wouldn't want to spend the fucking gas to go there. I would not go. I have seen the video footage of that man singing. No thanks. I will pass. I would not go see. Now, when they was on tour with Def Leppard and Poison, I'd have been more excited to see Def Leppard and Poison. I would have probably left for Motley Crue or went and took a shit. It would have been more fun. Yeah, I would never. And they're going back on tour again, I heard. Why? Fucking Vince Neil sucks. He's old and fat now, and I heard from some people that seen him in concert back in the day that he was never very good live to begin with. So it's not just that he's fat and old. He was just never really very good live anyway. But I don't know that. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know if you could say that, man. Look at fucking Mick Jagger, dude. He was out on stage fucking just doing his whatever the fuck it is, dancing, and he looked like a skeleton up on the stage. I've seen footage of. I would never go see Rolling Stones, but when I was younger, I hated the Rolling Stones. I would not listen to the Rolling Stones. If it come on, I'd turn it. But now I'm starting to, I don't know, broaden my horizons a little bit, and I actually like Paint It Black and some of their more famous songs I actually kind of like. Led Zeppelin, I can't listen. I can't listen to Led Zeppelin. It's not that they don't have some good songs. There's too many fucking radio stations that burn them out. I can't. I just now, like fairly recently, within the last couple of years, have been able to listen to AC/DC again, because AC/DC was so fucking burnt out. Well, I had a hand in that when I was younger. I listened to a lot of AC/DC, but I couldn't listen to them for years. It was so fucking burnt out, I couldn't even listen to it. I mean, I think everybody's got a band that's like that to them. Yeah, I heard Axl Rose is another one that it doesn't do real well live. His, I've heard, is more his age. Kind of like I said about Gene Simmons. When they was younger, they had some of their music where they did a lot of the higher pitch stuff, and they can't do it anymore. They actually have background singers that pick up for them during those higher pitched parts. I seen it. I forget which band I seen do it. But yeah, I got to play some of this. I already said we was going to play it, and I'd feel stupid if I didn't play some of it. Maybe it'll encourage some of you to watch some of this show, or maybe it won't.
How do you know you're saved and going to heaven? And if you can lose your salvation, can you gain it back again? This may be one of the most important topics you ever wrestle with, and we're tackling it head on in this episode of The Kirk Cameron Show. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an important conversation that may impact your eternity. James, let's get into it.
So that's the episode title, but it was really
I've
based
never seen
off
Korn
of
live. I'd like
a
to
conversation
at
that
least
me and you were having.
Same with Rob
for a
Zombie.
question
Those
that
are
I had,
two of the
which
ones I
was,
haven't seen.
how do we know that our salvation is secured for eternity? How do we know that here on earth?
Yeah.
So that
What's up, Warren?
led to a lot, but I think today just diving deeper into the idea in the scriptures of how do we know that our salvation is real and going to continue through the end.
About,
I agree. This is a question that
subject.
I have wrestled with personally
for
decades, because understandably, I don't want to be mistaken about whether or not my name is written in the book of life. Because we could read scriptures and find lots of people who thought they were saved, only to hear from Jesus
fucking old
that he's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. I know you cast out demons in my name. You called me Lord. You did all these wonderful things. Your friends were probably impressed, but I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. And so how do we know that we know that we know that we're really saved and we're not one of the self-deceived ones?
Yeah, I think if I'm being real, this is a fear that I've had, and it's something that I've just struggled with in my mind, because I've seen so many posers within the church that I know that I don't want to be that. I know that as a believer that my heart and my flesh longs for sin, just innately. And we are here to, as Christians, we're here to fight against it. But what will happen to me 10 years down the road? I don't know
I still
what will happen to me. I don't know what I will believe at that point.
In Erie, Pennsylvania.
So if I'm saying I'm saved now, yet I turn from my faith in the future, am I currently saved?
Yeah. Do true believers have the ability to walk away from God permanently?
Yeah.
What used to drive me nuts about the church I used to go to is they used to do everything they could to convince you were never saved. Even if you were saved, they'd be like, if you have a little bit of doubt, even a little bit of doubt, any kind of doubt, you need to get saved again because you're not saved. Because I was saved several times when I was younger, but I don't think I had the ability to understand it when I was young, when I was too young. I don't remember how old I was. Like 13 or something. I was pretty young, fairly young. I was old enough to start understanding it. And you know what's funny? Kind of funny. One of the guys involved with getting me saved, I remembered his last name. I remembered his name. And years later, I ended up in a club with his brother, in a motorcycle club with his brother, his biological brother. I thought that was just kind of funny. I said, do you know so-and-so? And he goes, yeah, that's my brother. He says, I don't associate with him. I said, is he still really Christian and stuff? He says, oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why he kind of don't associate with me. But, you know, small towns and everything. I always said we aren't that far from West Virginia. I'll bet you if you looked it up,
or
all related.
Does your walking away reveal that you're not a true believer today?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that it begs the famous question.
I don't believe that you
once saved, always saved, or if saved, always saved. And so I think we should just dive deeper into that today.
So
I think my personal belief on it is, there's nothing wrong with telling somebody about it. And if they tell you, I want to learn more, then you tell them more. If they say, I'd rather not talk about it, then that's fine too. You know, but you don't shove it onto people that don't want to hear it. You inform people if they don't know anything about it. You tell them about it. And if they want to be saved, you give them the opportunity to do so. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a preacher, but I believe in Christ, and I was saved a long time ago. But I have a weird, kind of a unique belief. I don't think you do not have to go to church to be saved. I don't believe so. I don't believe, we're all sinners, so you don't have to be perfect. If you fuck up and you do things you fucked up, you better be asking forgiveness. But you don't have to go and sit in a closet with some preacher and tell him all the bad things you did. That's between you and God. And you tell God about it. Say, hey, I know I kind of shouldn't have done that. I apologize. Please forgive me. There doesn't have to be no middleman. What's up, Jay? Right now we was talking about concerts earlier, and I noticed the show was running a little long, so I wanted to show a little bit of this show, try to turn some people on to just watching the show, checking it out. I'd like to go through different shows every once in a while and show people different things. This is the Kirk Cameron show.
As two guys who want to make sure that we're saved, and you're watching this, no doubt this is an important question. Let me just say up front, the purpose of us talking about this is not to manufacture some sort of fear and peddle that to people in order to manipulate them to join a church or read your Bible more or pray more, because the truth is none of that stuff gets you to heaven. None of that stuff insulates you from hell. The only purpose of this is to bring comfort and joy and a sense of peace, which the scriptures over and over and over tell us that God wants us to have. He wants us to have the assurance of our salvation. I want my wife, similarly speaking, to be assured of my love for her, not to live in constant fear that perhaps I'm going to reject her in the end because she's not good enough as a wife. No, I want her to have assurance, and God wants us as his bride to have assurance that his love can be trusted to the very end. So let's go straight to the passage of the sheep and the goats, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are we sheep? Sheep are the ones who are going to heaven, and goats are the ones who are not going to heaven. They're going to be separated out. And so let's talk about what is a sheep.
Now you got me curious. Was that like a consistent like battle, or did it kind of work out? And did anybody like try to convert the other one? I'm kind of curious how that went. That had to have been different. Right, Warland. For years and years and years, I used to tell people all the time, you want to know what decision to make when you do things. You do what's right, what you know is right in your heart, because you don't worry about what other people think about what you do, because you are the only person that will look yourself in the face every day in the mirror for the rest of your life. Nobody else will you see every day like that. So you always do what you think is best. Do what's right by you. And try not to do them things that you know you'll fucking feel bad about for the rest of your life, you know? You got to look at yourself every day. Nobody else. So you don't worry about what other people think about your decisions or your choices. You do what's right by you. That's awesome, though. I mean, like I said, years ago, I asked the pastor that I was to explain. Like when I asked him, it was more of the like there. I said there's Pentecostals, there's Methodists, there's Lutherans, there's all kinds of different denominations of the Protestant religion. I said, what can you help explain to me what the differences are? And why I think there's Calvinists, there's a bunch of different ones. Because you see them on different churches all the time. There's Baptists, that's a different denomination. But his answer, I thought, was a good answer. He says, look at it this way. We're all trying to get to the same place. We're all just taking different roads to get there, or to try to get there. What's up, Dragon Classic? Good to see you. Not really pushing religion. No, I'm just kind of showing people a channel where they can go to get information. They talk about some good subjects. If you've ever been curious about it. And a lot of times Kirk Cameron says, I don't really for sure know the right answer. But they explore some different subjects. Like I said, they explore drinking as a Christian, gambling as a Christian, different topics, how the Bible looks at it. I wouldn't say that I, in the least bit, I love for people to say that I believe in God. I like people to say they're Christian, but if you're not, I do not look down upon you. I don't think you're any less than anybody else. That's your choice. God gave everybody free will. Doesn't mean you're a bad person at all. The Christian moral compass, to me, I think, is kind of the root and what's best for people. That's my opinion. But it's an opinion. If there is no afterlife when you die, you won't miss it. You're just, if there isn't truly nothing, then there'll be nothing, and you won't be sorry or glad or anything. There'll just be nothing. I think that's an abysmal way to think of things, but there's nothing. If you believe like we'll all become one with like the energy of the world and all that, that's not too far removed from what I think everything is anyway. I think heaven is, in a way, not a physical place. Then again, who am I? I don't know. I'm not a preacher. I think it's more of a, because I've thought about it a lot, okay? They say heaven's like a perfect place for you, but everybody's idea of perfect is different. So how do you accommodate that? You know what I mean? If my idea of heaven is riding around and having a beer once in a while and women and whatever your idea of heaven may be, whatever idea of perfect, how would you accommodate that for a million different people? You know what I mean? So I think it's complex. There's more to it. I think it's more about becoming an energy, and then when you become like one with, I think there's truth to that. Not trying to go into all that exploring shit, but I don't think people put enough thought into it, really. I think whenever you die and you go to the afterlife, everything starts making sense to you, and you don't feel the want for any of those kind of things anymore. There's a whole new world of peace and love and whatever that you go to, and all them kind of things won't matter to you anymore. Anyway, enough HardWire.
What is a goat, and
thoughts.
Which animal most resembles you?
I like philosophizing
verse
about
that
things.
I think we should go over is the verse
We used to do
that is
that with my one
referencing
pastor all the
the
time.
sheep and the goats, which is Matthew 25:31-33. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, he will separate the people from one another, as a shepherd separates sheep from goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. In this passage, Jesus is talking about believers and unbelievers.
Right.
He's talking about the true believers, as in the sheep, or the fake believers who are actually goats.
Right. What's interesting, I just visited a friend, Dr. Barry, here in Tennessee, who has a farm, and I went up to the back 40 in the four-wheeler, and he showed me his flock of what I thought were goats. Turns out they were sheep. I didn't think sheep and goats looked all that similar because I think of the big white fluffy sheep with all the wool, and the goats have skinny little bodies with hair. But when you look at the kind of sheep he had, they looked exactly like goats. I thought they were goats. In fact, the males had horns and they looked like big, like mountain goats. It turns out sheep and goats can look very much the same. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't know how to separate goats from sheep if they were mixed in that.
Yeah, Frank, that's a big problem, in my opinion, too. But you can't let, like, mega churches is one of the things that drives me nuts, too, or drives me nuts. And then seeing, like, especially the one that comes to mind first is like Joel Osteen or whatever, have $1 million mansion and all that, making profit off of it. I mean, I found out when I joined the church one time, I never really thought about it that much, but the pastors, it's a job. They become some pastors get, they get a salary. The church pays them a wage to be a preacher, but it should, if that's their sole job and they're doing things like constantly to help the church and all that, they should get a wage, but it shouldn't be making them rich. Shouldn't be like really making them wealthy. Like that Joel Osteen fucking guy's super rich. And that makes the whole church look bad. And it turns a lot of people off to religion, but you can't let it bother you because that doesn't represent the religion as a whole. And most people aren't like that. It's not, you can't let that sour you. The whole idea, like I said, I don't believe you have to go to church to be a Christian. So the whole idea is a relationship between you and God, not anybody else, not their opinions, their thoughts. It's all about you and your relationship with God. Like Catholics think that there's a whole hierarchy of the way things should work, and none of that shit is in the Bible. None of it. In fact, the Bible actually preaches against that kind of thing. So I never understood Catholicism. I won't knock you if you're Catholic. I don't understand it. So I will say that. And I've asked people to sit and explain it to me. Can't get anybody to do it because I'm curious. I am curious. I like to learn, but I don't understand it. And from what I see and the way I currently understand it, it's goes against what the Bible says. So I don't get it. I won't knock anybody that says they're Christian. I just I don't get it. I like anybody to have a relationship with God. I appreciate that, but like I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. Well, that Jason, that's absolutely true. It's because of morals, and the biggest moral compass, all of society's the biggest part of morals is based in religion, and anything that teaches you, thou shalt not kill. How can you say that that's bad? Don't cheat on your wife. In the Bible, it says, thou shalt not commit adultery. It's a basic moral compass written into the word, and that's a good thing. Now, there's been a lot of wars fought over religion. Uh, Religion's done some horrible things over the years, but you can't let that soil your personal right. You don't have to take part in that part of anything. If you don't like that part, you don't participate in that part of it. It's all about you. It's just about you and your relationship with God. That's it. And when it says in there to evangelize and all that, I just think at that point when the Bible was written, there was a lot of people out there that didn't know. But with this modern age and the internet, I'd be amazed if anybody in the planet hasn't heard of Jesus. So it's not as like important as it once was. To me, the whole point is to educate and let people make their own choices. It's not up to anybody else. I can't stand them kind of people that just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it onto you and trying to tell you you need to do this, you need to do that. As long as somebody knows about it and they can choose, then they can choose if that's what they believe or want to believe or not believe, go against whatever. As long as they know about it, that's all you can do. You can't force it on somebody. If you force it on somebody, they'll learn to hate it, and they'll never really understand it.
flock.
And there's a lot of references to sheep and the shepherd in the Bible. So we'll read a couple more of those.
Great.
John 10:27, Jesus says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Then in John 10, verse 11, it says, "I am the good shepherd," coming from Jesus. "The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep," which he eventually ended up doing. The sheep, meaning believers, he fulfilled the prophecy of giving his life for those sheep.
That's right.
As the good shepherd.
That's right. And notice that the good shepherd does not lay down his life for the goats. He lays it down for the sheep.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. And I think that God actually warns us about not mistaking sheep from goats. And he does so in Matthew 7:15. He says, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves."
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They're presenting themselves as believers.
The ones that get me nuts are the ones that take this shit too literally. He wasn't talking about magical goats. Beware of goats and sheep. Some people take that way too literally, like the ones that like raise snakes up. And I heard that there was a church around here that, like, because the Bible says washed in the blood of the lamb, they slaughtered a lamb and smeared its blood all over themselves, like they were washing themselves with the blood of a lamb, which is fucking crazy, because that's not what the Bible was talking about. The Bible said Jesus was the Lamb of God. Okay? Wasn't talking about a literal lamb. When he said washed in the blood, that means we were all forgiven because Jesus died. Because he shed his blood, we were able to be forgiven. Has nothing to do with what they're, if you take that shit too literally. Some people do, man. That doesn't mean religion's bad. It's because some people don't know how to. They call it the Bible the living word. That's because when you read it, it's meant to mean something different to you. And sometimes people read the Bible and they think that what the Bible says to them, it should say to everybody else. And that's not necessarily the case. That's not how it's supposed to work as I understand it. But I'm not a preacher, and I'm not certified to in any way be some kind of a religious information source. I encourage you to find information elsewhere.
They are not.
That's right. They're ravenous wolves.
Yeah.
And I think we can put those ravenous wolves and those goats in the same category as not sheep.
Yeah.
So there are posers within the church, and this is not talking about your run-of-the-mill pagan who's, believing in Satan, or he's just way outside Christianity. These are people within the visible church. And that's why Jesus said, when it comes to separating the sheep and the goats, don't try to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. He's saying, you just wait. Jesus told them, when I come and when I send my angels, I can see who the sheep and the goats are, and the angels will separate them. If you try to do it right now, you may mistake a sheep for a goat and toss the sheep out when it was.
The Bible preaches over and over again about being a judgmental prick. And we don't have the right to be like to judge people ourselves. We can have opinions or say that we don't particularly like, I know this guy's a fucking thief, so I'm not going to let him near my shit. Okay. That's not the kind of judgment, being judgmental or whatever that the Bible preaches against, but it preaches constantly against like judgment of like disowning people. It's hard to explain, but I don't want you to think that it's okay to like be judge, jury, and executioner of people yourself, because we don't have the right to do that. Only God gets to choose. But what you can do is that you can like choose who you can associate with and don't associate with. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to like kind of explain, but I hope you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying.
Is just a real sheep
But
who is
the
struggling
point of why I
and
said that is
needing to be
you'll meet some of
matured.
the most judgmental
Let me do it,
motherfuckers
and I will do it
in
at
the
the final
church.
judgment.
Yeah.
And they don't realize
Yeah, it makes me think
that
of
they're doing exactly the things they're
the
not supposed to
idea
do.
that we can see truth and we can see the character of somebody if they are a true sheep by what they produce. Kind of like the tree, you can tell a tree by what it produces, the fruit. For instance, if a sheep produces wool, we can have evidence to say this is probably a sheep.
Right.
But if a sheep produces no wool, then we probably have evidence to say something's wrong with this sheep. Something doesn't line up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can see that, I think, through a lot of Christians. A lot of them like to take wool from other things and place it upon them, but it doesn't grow from within.
Oh, yeah, I love that. We try to take the Christian fish and stick it on the back of our car, or wear a Christian t-shirt, or we say these really fancy prayers in front of our friends to pretend like we're spiritually mature. We use words like, I feel led, I feel called, just to hear my heart, and the providence of God, and trying to spiritually discern, and the devil's attacking me, and I need to put on my armor this morning.
Yeah. Use the word Lord 50 times within one prayer.
Father, Father, and Father, Father when I pray. All of these things may sound spiritual, but they're not evidence of true salvation, because the Pharisees did all of that stuff, and they were the best example of people who looked like sheep, but
thanks
inwardly
for stopping in and rolling through. I appreciate it.
Dangerous wolves.
Exactly. And I think that they were actually the most
I'm gonna get out of
dangerous
here, too.
of the ravenous wolves, because you have some wolves.
I just wanted to introduce you guys a little bit to the Kirk Cameron show and the kind of thing that they talk about over there, and encourage you to go over there and watch a few of their videos. Believe it or not, at one point in time, I thought about like trying to start a Christian motorcycle club, one that tries to explain to people that you don't have to go to church all the time. You can be a biker and you can live your life, and you don't have to be that suit and tie kind of person. That just because you find your way to the Lord doesn't mean that I have to dress as a suit and tie and I have to try to tell people I'm perfect or live a perfect life, because none of us are perfect. The Bible says none of us are perfect. We are all sinners. Okay. And I always wanted to try to explain that to people. It's hard to explain sometimes, I guess. And some people don't want to listen. It's okay. You don't have to listen. But I really feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't understand, and they think that because some people do that's what being a Christian means, and that's not at all what it means. It's only about you and your relationship with the Lord. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Doesn't mean anything about dressing up in a suit and tie and trying to be perfect and going out and doing all these things. That doesn't mean that. So, believe me, you can get to heaven. Anybody can get to heaven. And you don't have to be that guy to get there, okay? Don't think that. It's all about you. And I don't really pray as much as I should. But I talk to the Lord once in a while, and I talk to him kind of like we're friends. You know, like, hey, I love you. It's good, I did this. I'm sorry. I don't like to ask for things because I feel like to me, that's, I mean, it says ask and the Lord will give you things, but I don't like to ask for things. I like to ask for things for other people and pray for other people. Pray for him to watch over me and other people when we go ride and different things like that. I apologize for those of you that didn't really want to get into something like this today, but at any rate, I want you to know that God does love you. I love you. Thank you for tuning in this week. And I will see you next week. And God bless you. And I love you.
The echoes fade, the mic runs cold, the session's done, the raw truth told. Another blessing through the wire, fueled by that 1% of fire. You've heard the facts, you've seen the signs. Hard wires cut between the lines for the insane Wheels family, and none who dare to see. You are hitting it with HardWire till the final crashing beat. Yeah, hitting it with HardWire. Truth and power can't be beat. A massive thanks for watching, for tuning in and being real. From hitting it with HardWire, know exactly how we feel. The world keeps spinning, news keeps breaking. No time for sleep, no time for faking. He'll be back here, same damn place, to stare the chaos in the face.